I'm Warren Sprouse. This is the Bible Forum. You're here with me. I'm there with you. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on this website, thebibleforum.net, in case you're getting this off of YouTube somewhere. I wanted to talk to you tonight about what's going on in the world that most of us Westerners, we don't get. One of those things is globalism. We don't get it. The Bilderbergs have been meeting this weekend. They started on late Thursday night. They finished up on Sunday. This is being recorded on that Sunday. When these folks get together, they're in an ultra luxury hotel in Dresden, Germany. They're gathering to discuss the future of the planet. They've been doing this since 1954. Now, what happens in this meeting will not be televised. The mainstream media will almost completely ignore it. But the decisions that are made at this conference will affect the lives of every man, woman, and child on the planet for generations to come. This is the Bilderberg Group. And for decades, people who talked about such a group were labeled conspiracy theorists. Even if you admitted you thought it existed, they denied it. They get their name from the first hotel they met in 1954, Holland's Hotel de Bilderberg. The goal initially was to curb socialist anti-Americanism by promoting Atlanticism, a philosophy, a policy that would work to foster political, economic, and defense cooperation between the United States and Western Europe. The group managed to succeed beyond their wildest imagination. They succeeded with the 1989 implosion of the Soviet Union. They succeeded with the 1991 dismantling of the Warsaw Pact and the opening of Western trade with Communist China. With the 1992 passage of the Maastricht Treaty that rolled 28 nations and 508 million people into what we now call the European Union, and that featured unimpeded movement of people and products across those borders. They also encouraged the global expansion of NATO's mission. The Bilderbergs championed the rise of globalism through the 1994 formation of the 123-nation World Trade Organization that drastically reduced tariffs and internationalized trade dispute resolution. This pro-commerce environment helped world trade increase tenfold over the next 10 or 15 years, propelling the economic growth of China, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. This year, the topics include, and you say, how do you know? They got a website. They tell you this. Their topics include current events. That's code. That's code for our elections here in this country. It's code for Great Britain's Brexit that's going to be voted on this week, and several other things that are happening with Russia and with the Arab thing and all the rest of it. Also China, who is becoming ever more aggressive. Europe with its migration, its growth, its reform, its vision, its unity, and for protection of Europe. Don't know if they talk about Europe's failing economy. The Middle East, Russia, the U.S. political landscape, economy, growth, debt reform, cybersecurity, geopolitics as it relates to energy and commodity prices, a precariat versus a middle class, and also a technological innovation. Now, you might have stumbled over the word precariat. I did. The term, technically, has always been similar to the blue-collar workers. but workers that had job security, benefits, and often union protection. Today's precariat usually has none of that, thank you, Bilderberg, and spans income and education levels. There's a wide range from sub-minimum wage to illegal migrant work to low-wage retail or service to highly educated but contract and freelance dependent industries like journalism. Members of the precariat also, unlike their working class forebears, have to put in an alarming amount of work that no one considers work or compensates them for. All of these are the benefits of the Bilderberg Group. They, by the way, oppose the exit of Great Britain from the EU. Other international globalist groups include the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Fabian Society, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, GATT, WHO, the Club of Rome, the World Council of Churches, and so forth. These groups and many others have been highly successful, so much so they no longer hide their efforts nor their end goals. Now, at these meetings, they do not vote. There are no official positions taken. There are no policy statements issued. Everybody at the meeting is an invited guest. They are there free of charge, and they are free to listen, to contribute without fear of reprisal. They just are not allowed to talk about anything that happens there. Very few of our presidents have not been at some of these meetings. It used to, back in the 60s and 70s, it used to be said that if you want to be president of the United States, you had to be a member of one of these organizations. This year, Senator Lindsey Graham, our own South Carolina senator, was invited. One wonders if this was the first invitation. In the latter part of the 20th century, anybody and everybody who was anything or anybody was part of this group. What are they doing? We talk here at the Bible Forum often about the coming global society, global government, global everything. It's been here at least since 1960. It's just underneath. You're impacted by these people. Our politicians are impacted by these people. When a John Kerry, Secretary of State for us, stands up and talks about the world tomorrow being a world without borders, he's talking about these people. That's where that comes from. Borders are the problem. They're not the problem for people who want to have a secure society and be protected. Borders are not a problem for them. Borders are a problem for big money people. They can't make as much money if the borders are closed. They have to play the silly game of borders and taxes and paperwork and all the rest of it. Open borders, we have free trade, then we can make a lot of money. It's all about the money. What do they say? Follow the money.